I am so glad you are back. Where on earth have you been? Anyway, I cooked us a late night pizza snack. It's there on the coffee table. I couldn't find the pizza cutter, but there's a knife there you can cut it with. While you are doing that, I am going to go take a quick shower. Then I will sit down with you and have some pizza and another Vinci Pop. Don't worry, I won't be in the shower very long. I'll be out in a
here at
jiffy.
CRZY News, and we have with us as our guest today Dr. Flipshire of Flattown, who will be discussing what he calls the psychological breakdown of society and Murgatroyd in particular. Welcome to the show, Dr. Flipshire.
Thank you there, Mellison. I'm glad to be here again. Yeah, this is Dr. Flipshire here from down, and most of your viewers, I'm sure, recall when I was on here a year and a half, 2 years ago, whenever Akron had burned down the paper doll factory and then committed suicide, and I was commenting then on the mental state of Akron. Well, today I'm going to comment on the mental state of Murgatroyd. I think there's going to be more and more of this type of thing that y'all have seen here. If you'll recall, after Akron had burned down the paper doll factory and killed himself, all of a sudden then, the serial killer began to strike. Well, of course, the serial killer turned out to be Akron Head's brother, as we now know, and was slain at the wedding of Les Pomack and Imogen Sokowski, but now somebody has stolen the body of the Murgatroyd serial killer. I predict there's going to be copycat killers and more chaos, because I think what we're witnessing is the mental breakdown of society. I'm going to call it the psychological breakdown of Murgatroyd. That's what we're all witnessing, and things are going to continue, I believe, to get worse before they get better.
Dr. Flipshire, to correct one of your statements. As a reporter here at CRZY who followed the Murgatroyd serial killer's rampage from its very beginning some 4 years ago, I would like to clarify that the Murgatroyd serial killer had already claimed many victims before Akron Head did his dirty deeds. So let's be clear about that. Now it can be argued, perhaps, that the serial killer, Eric Niedermeyer, escalated his slayings after the suicide death of his brother Akron Head, but in the interests of accuracy, let's be clear about the facts here. Dr. Flipshire.
Bulletin alert.
Thank you.
News Bulletin alert. This is Ronson Kilroy at CRZY News. We interrupt this program to bring you the following breaking news. The body of a young woman has been discovered behind the Super Deluxe grocery store tonight. Surveillance footage from the store cameras aimed at the bakery captured the event, and Lieutenant Skitters had this to say about what the surveillance footage reveals about the crime.
Deceased victim discovered here. This is Lieutenant Skitters with the Murgatroyd Homicide Division. I'm in charge of the serial killer case. This appears to be a copycat killer, seeing as how I saw and personally identified the Murgatroyd serial killer's death at the wedding of Les Tomac and Imogen Sokowski. I will say this, the surveillance camera and the perpetrator appears to be the same height, weight, and appearance of Eric Niedermeyer, and if I did not know that he was dead, I would say that it was the same individual. The surveillance camera also, sadly, recorded the dismemberment of Flashy the Paper Doll by this killer, and then a young, as yet unidentified skateboarder whom we believe to be Timothy Lawrenson came along and taped Flashy back together and put her in a grocery cart and took off with her. So he left the scene of the crime, this young skateboarder, and he took the other victim, Flashy the Paper Doll, with him. We do not know where he took her, where this young skateboarder is, but we want to question him further, obviously, as quickly as possible for additional information on anything he saw or heard, or additional description and information he can give us on the perpetrator on this new apparent copycat killer. And this was Lieutenant Skinner. That's all I have to say at this moment.
Should be very grateful that Timothy Lawrenson brought Flashy here to us when he did. The operation was a success, thankfully, but she will need lots of sleep and many days to rest up and recuperate. I feel terribly guilty that we brought Eric back. We have basically created a monster and now he is loose and on the rampage once again. But don't worry, I know what I must so Jacqueline, I know what I must do to put an end to his reign of terror once and for all. And I will do what I have to do to end it.
Dr.
Yes, I
Getrick,
will.
please don't go do anything rash. Stop and think about what you are about to do. What on earth are you thinking about doing? Oh my God, that's a gun. You have a gun. Please, Dr. Getrick, what is it that you are planning to
Now,
go
Dr.
and
Reeb
do?
Summer, have you ever known me to act rash? Or foolish? You know how to operate and monitor the time flux energy field device. I have taught you how and I trust you with it. I need for you to remain here and do that while I go and do what must be done. You will take care of Flashy here while she recuperates. I must travel back through time and kill Eric before he ever begins his rampage 4 years ago. It will save the 23 victims he has claimed during the past 4 years, including the victim he killed tonight. And if I do not make it back successfully, you must continue our work here. Hopefully Timmy will continue to evade the authorities who will want to find him and question him. They will also want to know where he took Flashy. They may eventually come here looking for her. Hopefully by the time she will be up and walking and well enough for you to send her away from the lab here. Keep me in your thoughts and wish me luck on my mission here. Believe me, Jacqueline, this is the only way. It must be done. It must be done.
Oh my goodness, that shower was very nice. Did you save me some of that pizza? That's funny, I thought for sure that I had locked the door behind me. Eric? Eric? Are you still here? I brought some more Vinci Pop, another pizza and a bottle of wine. Eric? Where are you? Where are you?
Cosmetics, the raw, unexpurgated essence of primal femininity that hints at the dawn of womankind and the ferocious sex appeal from within. Splash a little Slidette 3 on and bring out the urges in all the males around you. For the fast stylish girl of today's world. Slidette 3, new from Vincini Cosmetics.
CRZY News Bulletin. Bulletin alert. Bulletin alert. The body of a young female was discovered tonight behind the Super Deluxe grocery store near downtown Murgatroyd. Identity of the victim is being withheld pending notification of next of kin. Lieutenant Skidders of the Murgatroyd Homicide Division said this is almost certainly a copycat killer imitating the recently slain Murgatroyd serial killer who was shot by a sniper at the wedding of late Tomac and Imogene Slokowski. The body of the serial killer mysteriously disappeared from the medical examiner's office prior to an autopsy, but investigation into the missing body was called off. In other news, the release of the new Slide at 3 cologne from Vincini Cosmetics once again sent Vincini stock soaring.
Vincini Triple Flex Theaters. The most shocking creatures to ever attack mankind. Attack of the Giant
Theater goers. The Vincini Corporation is not liable for sudden heart attacks, panic attacks, or other violent visceral reactions that may result from the unbelievably frightening and shocking scenes during this motion picture.
And giant cables snap like puny threads. There it goes! And giant cables snap like puny threads. There it
Shocking, terrifying, unbelievable. It will shatter your nerves and startle your senses. In horrifying sensual
able to sit up, Flashy. I brought you a newspaper to look at. Oh, and you have a visitor, the young skateboarder who saved your life by taping you back together and then bringing you here to the lab. Well, he is here to visit you, Flashy. I told him not to make it a habit because the authorities are still looking for him and you both so they can question you about the attacker. At any rate, here he is, Timmy Lawrence's son, so enjoy your visit with him, Flashy. I will drop by back your room here later.
Flashy? You awake? Hey, how are you feeling? Well, I just came to check up on you. I didn't know what to think or how to feel when I saw you laying there. You know, I remember the first time I met you. You were so beautiful. I was speechless. I didn't know what to say, didn't know what to think. and then I seen everybody coming after you. I knew that I had to do something, so I got a hold of all my skateboarder buddies. You know, we formulated that little plan, and I traveled back into time to save you from the evils and everything. Everybody's after you, but we helped you out. Yeah. Oh, Flashy, it's so horrible seeing you in this state. I hope we can make things, I hope everything works out for you. I've got this MP3 of the first time I met you that I remember. I want you to hear it.
Well, I'm going to start out by letting you know that I love your show. I listen to it all the time, dude. All right, well, I was doing an aerial 360 kickflip down the half pipe the other day, and I saw this beautiful paper girl walking down the street. And, I mean, she was just gorgeous. Everything I ever wanted. And I went up to try to go talk to her, but she ignored me and stuff. Well, you know, I didn't know too much about it, but then I've been hearing about all these senators and people out there trying to, you know, protest her, drag her down, whatever, you know, tell her that she doesn't deserve rights and everything. But she's, you know, she's just as human as the rest of us, you know, dude? Like, seriously, man, I think it's ridiculous that they want to sit there and hate on her, you know. I skateboard for a living. It's not like I do anything special or anything like that, you know. I go and beg for food and shit like that all the time, you know. I don't understand why they're going to hate on such a beautiful girl. She's too beautiful. Way too beautiful.
Thank you. That was a skateboarder here in Dead Center Park.
It's not just your opinion, no, 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 no. It's an opinion. Call into Opinion Radio. Whoa, 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 no, 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 no. Call into Opinion Radio. Go, 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 go.
Welcome to our show today. This week's edition of Opinion Radio, with your host Julie Etta Sidestepper. Call in your opinion about anything, any idea, any subject. This is where you can voice your opinion. And we have a caller on the line now.
Howdy there, Julie. It's Uncle Frank here again. I'm calling in and all and what have you. And I'm just wanting to say I had this young couple broke down out there by my house out there at Flat Town the other night. Radiator and all, you know, went out and it was raining, what have you. They had a little dog and what all. And so I let them come on in. And of course, we all was spooked to begin with because the car broke down. And the old boy forgot to charge his cell phone up and all, you know, so they sat down by the fireplace and dried off, and I fed the dog part of a pork chop and all, you know, and I heard noise outside, you know, some kind of a racket, and so I grabbed my shotgun. Well, that spooked the old girl, of course, but anyhow, I went outside looking to see what I could find, and of course, something had killed some of my chickens. Now, I had kind of a suspicion in the back of my mind, but it don't make a lot of sense right now, you know, because I've had chickens killed before quite a long time ago, and I'm not going to get into that during this phone call, but anyhow, something killed some of my chickens. So anyhow, I went on out into the woods, you know, and I've seen some weird stuff out there. Those old chemicals that they dump from that Vincini Cosmetics Corporation, they float down down that creek there that runs back behind my house there, off in the woods, and runs on down there by that biotech lab. And I'm telling you, I've seen some weird things moving and sitting around out there at night. I ain't ever said nothing to nobody because I thought they'd think I was crazy or all, but I'm just tired of keeping it to myself and all. And, you know, I'm just telling you, now there's some weird stuff out there in the woods. So, anyhow, it's all I got to say is Uncle Frank here. Frankie. Frankie.
Something is terribly wrong. I can sense it. I can feel it. Something has happened to Flashy, and I must go back through the time flux energy field to the year 2016 and help her. The paper towel twins are now old enough to look after all of the other offspring, and Flashy and I have taught all of our children very well. They will do fine in my absence. Flashy, I am coming to Murgatroyd once again, as I did before, to save you. You will not fall victim to the evil humans. And someday very soon as our numbers grow, the tables will indeed turn against the barbaric humans, and the world will be ruled by peaceful paper dolls. I'm coming to help you, Flashy.
This is a CRZY Bulletin Alert. Flashy the paper doll remains missing after being attacked and dismembered by an unknown assailant who had also slain a local Murgatroyd woman moments earlier. Both attacks were captured on video footage by cameras at the Super Deluxe grocery store parking lot in downtown Murgatroyd. Flashy's dismembered body parts were placed in a grocery cart by an as yet unidentified skateboarder who is believed to possibly be Timothy Lawrence's son. If you have seen this young man, please notify authorities of his whereabouts.
Oh Eric, isn't this just terrible? Why are you sitting there laughing? There's nothing funny about this kind of news. Or maybe you are amused because this kind of news upsets me. I'm just glad I can't see all the terrible things that go on these days in Murgatroyd. I guess sometimes being blind isn't so bad after all. Hey, I'm going to grab us both another Vincy Pop out of the fridge. Did you take your mental alert pill yet today, Eric?
Snack bar for delicious treats and eats for the entire family. Ice cold drinks and yummy chocolate covered treats. Murgatroyd's finest drive-in theater for your nighttime entertainment.
With a ring of cheese baked into a totally new thinner crust, you'll want to eat it the raw.
Snack bar. Hot fresh buttered popcorn. Genuine authentic Italian pizza with real mozzarella cheese. Delicious hot dogs. Out of this world hamburgers, cheeseburgers and
All been seen eat triple flex theaters. The most shocking creatures to ever attack mankind. Attack of the Giant
Theater goers. The Vincini Corporation is not liable for sudden heart attacks. Funny shocking scenes.
And giant tables snap like puny threads. There it goes! And giant tables snap like puny threads. There it goes!
Today's thrilling episode of Heart's Desire is brought to you by Vincini Cosmetics. Makes a Vincini face cream for the little Miss Fancy Pets in your family. Slide up to Cologne, and for her brother the new Whiplash 5 aftershave, and of course for the whole family there's Uncle Crud Buckets.
A horse, a motorcycle, or even driving a taxi cab, Uncle Crud Bucket's Basic Lime Thigh Cream will work wonders on your thighs. Oh yes, it will. You thighs will be grateful. Oh yes.
Very soon. I'm going to get her. I will have my revenge for all these years of suffering. She will pay the price. She will suffer like I did. It's almost time. I have made all the necessary preparations. I have planned carefully. Yes, soon. Very, very soon. A girl just can't get over. What more can I say? Of course, living the life of the high and mighty, you wouldn't know about these things. Life was handed to you on a silver platter and you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Well, the tables are about to turn, my dear. Oh yes, they are. My revenge is going to be so very slow and so very revenge is going to be so very slow and so very sweet. Is going to be so very slow and so very sweet. My revenge is going to be so very slow and the girl just can't get over. What more can I say?
Now playing at all Vincini Triple Flex Theaters. The most nightmarish horror film ever to come to the theaters. No one will be seated during the last 30 minutes of this film. Due to the horrifying content of this motion picture, Vincini Productions is not responsible for faintings, heart attacks, panic attacks, or other health-related conditions that may occur while watching this film.